I think that we all agree that it is better to prevent crises than to manage them. Now, prevention in relation to climate change is, first of all, stop this crazy race into warming the planet, stopping this crazy race of emissions. But we know that even today, countries like Fiji, small islands in the Caribbean or the Pacific are already the victims of climate change. They have not contributed to it, but they are paying the price. And so again, we need another form of prevention, which is to build resilience in those communities and to mobilize the international community to support those countries to build resilience. Now, this is not always easy. I was recently in Barbuda and Dominica after the terrible devastation of these two islands. And what was very interesting is that the Prime Ministers of Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica did not ask for money just for humanitarian response. They asked for money to rebuild a resilient Barbuda and to rebuild a resilient Dominica, which means we need to mobilize resources of the international community to support the governments and the communities of these states, island states in the Pacific, in the Caribbean, to build resilience for their societies. And that, of course, is extremely important, and that requires a meaningful amount of funding. Now, some of these countries are middle-income countries. They have not been receiving different forms of concessional assistance, but they are very vulnerable to external shocks. So we need to have innovative financing to allow for these countries to benefit from these forms of finance. Some of these countries have huge debts. One of the things that we could foresee is the possibility to transform debt payments into investments in resilience, forgiving debt but forcing the countries to invest in resilience. So there is a lot of innovative ideas that the UN needs to put on the table that entities like the World Bank can promote and can push in order to mobilize the international community to support these countries, to help their societies build the resilience in the way they construct, in their infrastructure, in the way agriculture works, in the protection of their coasts. This requires a massive support, and we have the obligation to mobilize the international community to provide it.
Thank you so much.